Hello and welcome back to the Schaefer Protocol channel. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm Dr. Marcia Schaefer, and today's video is so near and dear to my heart. In 2023, it was the first time that this month got national awareness dedicated to this topic. And since I have dedicated my life and my career to improving this area, it means a lot to me that this topic is now on a nationwide recognized awareness month. January is now recognized as National Pre-Pregnancy Month. Now, before you think, wait, why does national awareness about pre-pregnancy matter? Well, no worries. I'm glad that we're talking today because I think you might think differently by the time that we're done with this video. So today we're going to dive into why pre-pregnancy is so much more than getting pregnant. It's missing the point. It's about empowerment and awareness and building this community where conversations about preconception or pre-pregnancy health aren't just welcomed, but they are celebrated. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And I'll be honest, working in healthcare my entire adult life in lots of different areas has shown me good things, it's shown me bad things, and it's shown me a lot of areas that we can improve, which is why I do this today. So, top 3 reasons that I love this topic, and I think that you will too. So first, your state of health prior to conception can actually dictate a lot, from your ability to even get pregnant to the health challenges that your kids may face. This isn't about fertility testing. The labs and the metrics that are looked at in this phase are about optimizing your physical, your mental, and your emotional health so that your pregnancy and postpartum experiences will be far more optimal. And did you know that you can actually change and improve both egg and sperm quality? Most people are still being told this age-old myth that you're born with all the eggs that you'll ever have. So the preconception or the pre-pregnancy period done right can actually change the quality of your eggs, it can improve the quality of the sperm, and it can lead to healthier pregnancies and healthier generations of kids. So, sound like fun? Okay, keep watching. So, your state of health prior to conception can tell you a lot, from your ability to get pregnant to the health challenges that your kids may face. What if you're not actually infertile? What if no one's talked to you about this period and prepared you? You know, research shows that if a mom is insulin resistant prior to pregnancy, she has a higher risk of low milk supply in the postpartum period. Seeing as though 70% of PCOS cases are insulin resistant, this is a big deal. This can set up mom for failure from the start, and that doesn't even begin to address the impact of what that insulin resistance does for the baby. Now, insulin resistance is talked about with mom a lot, but it's a big deal for both parties. For women, it can cause you to not ovulate, so that's obviously going to make pregnancy pretty difficult. But for men, it can actually create high rates of oxidation in the sperm, which is very highly responsible for first trimester losses. And it's something that they don't test for in traditional fertility testing. So speaking of fertility testing, this isn't about fertility testing. Think of it like this. You hear a knock on your door. You answer the door and someone says, "Congratulations, you're running the Boston Marathon. Go get your shoes." And you're like, what? Now, if you've ever been pregnant, you know that it literally takes all of you. And research is now shedding light on just how much. Pregnancy is metabolically like running 40 marathons. Now, if you've never run a day in your life, how likely are you to sign up for the Boston Marathon? Probably not too likely. But let's say you really want to do it. What would you do? Well, you'd understand that you don't just get to go to the Boston Marathon because you think it'd be fun. You actually need to qualify for it within a 12-month period. You need to prove your ability to run and place at a certain level, or you don't get to start up at the starting line. So researchers looked at data from Race Across the USA. So it's a 120-day race that covers nearly a marathon a day for 6 days a week. Other events that, like the triathlons or Tour de France, they also looked at those. So they started analyzing the data from those, and the researchers looked for the metabolic rates for participants in those events. They found that the highest metabolic rate any human can handle is 2.5 times their resting rate, so 2.5 times. So get this, pregnant women operate at 2.2 times their metabolic resting rate, and they sustain it for over double that of any marathon runner. So why do I bring this up? Well, because it means it's not just about getting pregnant. You've got to prepare for the pregnancy that you want to have so that you can be the healthiest you possible to take that marathon on. This may also explain why over 100,000 women every single year are diagnosed with a significant chronic illness like cancer in pregnancy or postpartum. Preparing for pregnancy allows you to have a high-quality pregnancy, a safer labor and delivery, and a vibrantly healthy baby. You are worth it to do the work. Now, another reason that I love that there's national awareness around pre-pregnancy or the preconception period is because for far too long, we've been told and we believed that aspects about fertility were completely out of our control. One of the most common myths is that we're born with all the eggs that we'll ever have. And sadly, people still believe that today. There's this meme that's well-intended, but it says, a female fetus is born with all the eggs she will ever carry in her lifetime. When your grandmother was carrying your mother in her womb, you were this tiny little egg in your mom's ovaries. Misleading statement, yeah, and also pretty wrong. This meme assumes the old science is true, and that meme also fails to mention that an unfertilized egg only carries half the DNA to become a person. So at best, it's half of you. The stem cells, okay, I get it, but no. Scientists discovered that there was a stem cell in the ovaries that generates immature egg cells. The same immature egg cells can turn into fertile eggs. So that finding reinforces previous experiments that had identified this type of ovarian stem cell that renews your source of eggs throughout the fertile years in animals tested. So that study was actually published in the journal Nature in 2004, and it was the first to reach the conclusion that this long-held belief that young girls are given this bank account at birth that you can no longer deposit eggs into, you can just withdraw from it, was no longer true. Now, from a purely biological perspective, the concept that a woman would continually generate new eggs during her reproductive years actually makes a lot of sense. Not only because stem cells literally replace every other tissue in the body except one, but men also are constantly replenishing sperm, which we'll get to next. So we can no longer say that eggs simply don't work. We have to look at nutrient deficiencies like iodine, for example, that second to the thyroid, the ovaries hold the highest concentration of iodine in the entire body. Now, when you think physiologically about what iodine does for the thyroid, it allows for metabolism and rapid turnover growth, right? Logically, it makes a lot of sense that your ovaries also require high amounts of iodine because they're building new eggs. They're going from this primordial follicle to an ovulatory egg in just 120 days. So just like women have this ability to create new eggs, men can create new sperm every 60 days. The sperm regeneration cycle takes 64 days. So if sperm can regenerate every 64 days, this means sperm quality can change, count can change, motility can change, but it doesn't happen by chance. Men have health factors as well, like iodine deficiency, vitamin D and vitamin A deficiency, things like antioxidants that are really important to sperm health. They're all required, but it's this consistency over a minimum of 60 days to have these nutrients in the body so the body has the ability to use those nutrients in rebuilding the sperm. Now, personally, when I work with couples in the preconception period, it's a minimum of 120 days that I want them preparing for pregnancy just so I can give them the best outcome possible. Now, this is why I love national awareness of pre-pregnancy. I feel it is so vital, and I am so happy that more awareness is being taken around this topic. Not only do you have the opportunity to completely change your fertility, you absolutely can change the quality of your pregnancy. And it doesn't matter when you start. You can optimize your kid's health simply by putting in some extra work prior to getting pregnant. Pre-pregnancy or preconception isn't just about making you pregnant or testing fertility for labs. It's about optimizing your health so you have a better journey. You experience a different journey. This is why I call it trimester 0. It's the first real trimester when it comes to optimal fertility. And we also now know you're not born with all the eggs you're ever going to have. You have way more control than your fertility than you have likely ever been told. So that's it for this week. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our incredible community here on the Schaefer Protocol channel. Trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming up in the next few weeks and what we have in store. Now, if you have a topic that you want to hear more about, I am always happy to take that in and make videos, make content for that. So until next week, I hope you feel more confident, empowered, and ready to take on this awesome journey to health. I will talk to you soon.